Yo, welcome to the show.
Yo YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to I can tell you what's not good, and that is my portfolio. My Roth IRA, it's not doing too well right now. Welcome back to another video. It's Zero to Hero Investing. We're gonna look at my Roth IRA inside Robinhood, and this is like a November update. I do these monthly, usually closer to the middle of the month, so we're a few days late, as I say in all my videos, but we're here. And we're gonna be talking about my Roth IRA. Gonna be looking at my holdings. That's my portfolio. You guys can get a little glimpse of it. But we're gonna also talk about the dividends received throughout the year and just the overall performance, my holdings, and the usual stuff. If you're new here, consider liking, subscribing. I do portfolio updates on my Roth, on my taxable as well. Both are inside Robinhood, and I also share my spending plans, just how I get paid and how I divvy up my money to invest and live my life. If you're curious to know a little bit more about me, you can always tap into those videos. So without further ado, let's start by looking at the portfolio. We're currently sitting at $25,623.02 inside the Roth IRA. Not unbelievable, but maybe a little bit insane after last month's update. Like $2,000 more. That's fine. Like, we've lost 10% of the portfolio. It's okay. It's all good. The day performance, we're down 3.14% on the day. My portfolio is super volatile with some of the stocks I have. This one right here. Down on the day, it's Pi Day, guys. We're down 3.14% and a little bit more after hours. On the 1 week chart, we are down 5.9%. 1 month, we're down 10.76%. 3 month, we're down 2.19%. Year to date, we should be up 11.3%, and the 1 year chart, we're up as well, about 10.3%, or 10.25% actually. Buying power, $24 at the moment. And let's look at the contributions down here. We're real close to maxing the Roth IRA for 2025. If you're not familiar, there's a $7,000 limit. I've contributed $63.25 so far, so I have $675 to go until I max it at $7,000. Can read that if you'd like. And also, Robinhood does a match, so I've been matched $63.25. This is a 1% match that's standard, but if you have gold, they'll match you 3%, which is a nice chunk of change. It definitely pays for itself with the matches, but that's up to you. I've decided not to do it. Will I change my mind in the future? Maybe, or maybe not. So let's look at the options we have. We have one option here. I don't know if I've made a video on this before. I think I've opened this within the last month, so this might be new to YouTube. But I have a SoFi call, which I bought right, when did I buy it? I think it was the day of their earnings. Their stock wasn't doing too well, but they had good earnings in my opinion, so I just bought a very long leaps call option, and I'm just letting it ride. So the intention really was to do a poor man's covered call strategy, but Robinhood does not allow, or maybe it's a Roth IRA, it does not allow you to do that. So I was not stuck with my leaps, but I thought it was a good investment. Anyways, I just hold it until not 2027, but until sometime in the future. I've seen this thing go as high as like 12% in the green. Didn't sell because that was the day after buying it maybe. And I'm not going to sell my leaps in the green when it has over a year to go until expiration. Like, that didn't make sense to me. Now, do I regret doing that? Not necessarily. It's still a very long-term play, relatively long-term play. And I do see hope in SoFi. I don't know how long the markets will be doing what it's doing for, but I'm just letting this ride for now. I'm sure I'm down around 15%. I bought it for $12.50. So you can do the math if you want. Maybe it's more than that. Looking at the stocks and ETFs we have here, just quickly, I'm going to run through these. We have QQQM, which is at 23.7 shares. I haven't bought a lot of QQQM recently, and maybe that's a good thing because tech is going to get hit. Tech is getting hit more than anything else right now. And QQQ obviously is way more heavy in that. The reason I haven't bought too much QQQM is because I would like to I would like to reach 100 shares in SPY M like first, I guess. And also, I'm always looking at my equity here, and QQQM is such a runner. And SPY M doesn't keep up unless I manually add to it. So, for that reason, when QQQ rises just from share appreciation, it forces me to buy SPY M, and so it forces me to not buy QQQM because it appreciates on its own. So, I haven't increased my share count in a while, and I'm pretty happy about that, at least in retrospect. I will be buying more now. I mean, you can see it's less than SPY M. I do want to keep them roughly at the same percentage holding if I can. SPY M, talked a little bit about this. I've been buying some here and there. We're at 75 shares right now, about 75 and a quarter actually, and it's not too far from the QQQM counterpart, about a $80, $70 difference right there, and it's gonna get wider. I just know it. I see it coming. I don't know how low we're going, but I expect SPY M obviously to be way more stable than everything else right now, especially this one and especially this one. Oh Lord. But anyway, let's talk about Rocket Lab. 71 shares of that right now, 71.5 shares of Rocket Lab. Currently about 2,800 in equity. We've seen this thing go probably up to $5,000. Did not sell. Thinking back, I was walking out of work today and I'm like, the Roth IRA is meant to not trigger tax events. Why did I not sell when I'm up 150% in a position? I can see in my taxable, and I have no regrets still holding Rocket Lab. I am buying more in my taxable. In my Roth, I've put the brakes on. But what I'm saying is, why didn't I sell some? You know, like in my Roth, there's really no reason for me to not have sold. Or I guess the fact that I do see it as a long-term hold, but hey, it's had a really nice run, and it's running still, but just the opposite way. So maybe it'll go back up. Next we have VYMI, and that is Vanguard's like international high dividend yield ETF, VYMI. Newer position here. I did sell out all my SCHD and replaced the SCHD with this position for two reasons. It's more or less the same dividend yield, probably not the consistency in terms of growth and just share payments and all that. However, it also gives me, this is a huge reason too, it also gives me some international exposure, which I don't even have in my taxable account. And you don't necessarily need explicit international exposure, in my opinion, but I feel so much more balanced mentally, investically, now that I have VYMI, and I feel like it's not so much of a loss since since it feels like I maintain that dividend income and just that cash flow in a sense. So two strong reasons there. It's been moving well so far, in my opinion, so I'll continue buying more. I started at 50 shares and I've been buying like 0.1 every day, every other day, and now we're there. So next we have SPMO, crazy one here. Haven't bought any of this probably in the last week. I've just been focused on SPY M right there, but this is one I do want to, this is an ETF I really, really, really love, so I'll be buying more SPMO for sure. Vici is officially under $29, and I mean, that just means you gotta buy more, right? God, I wish I had more money to be taking advantage of these opportunities, and I do, but I don't know if I don't know if I wanna leave myself without any cash, But Vici almost at 100 shares on this one too. I might get to 100 shares here before I do with SPY M, and Vici isn't really anything crazy to sell options against, but watch, I'm gonna I know I'm gonna sell my first option against any one of these, and the market's gonna immediately turn back and I just lose all my shares, but that's okay. That's why it's a Roth. So Vici 86.3 shares down on the day, around the Actually, it's let's see. This is today's return, so I guess I should have pointed out that this is probably the least volatile so far of the day. I don't know what SCHD did today, but yeah, 0.95% when the markets did 1.63. It's pretty good. Vici also not as volatile, I guess. It's just it didn't drop as much is all I'm saying as SPY-M did. And then we have MIR, 22.1 shares, newer position here, and I believe the drop has taken us under $500 in equity for this one. So, yeah, there you go. Portfolio, it's seen better days, but we're consistently investing and expect the markets to return to an upward trend at some point. Will it be tomorrow? Will it be next week? Who knows? But we're staying diligent and we're staying consistent. And I forgot to mention regarding maxing my Roth, I have 675 left until it's maxed. And my plan is, what I'm doing is just $135 each Monday. So essentially, I just have like 5 more Mondays until this is maxed. And that should take me up until I think I have the last Monday of the year free. Like no need to contribute. So I think, is it the 21st of December is my last day of contributing, then I'll be maxed. So I just wanted to point that out. So looking at our holdings here, not much to see or say. To be fair, we've already talked about most of this. We're down in some positions now. Haven't seen my Roth in the red in a minute, but we're just taking advantage of that. MIR, which is a really small position at the moment, want to build this up. Vici under $28, like you just have to buy it. And then VYMI, which is a new position, but it's in the red. These, honestly, this, where is it? Rocket Lab, that 935 can disappear by the end of next week. So if this goes in the red, I will start buying more in my Roth for Rocket Lab. But until then, not gonna be adding anymore until I've accomplished some other milestones that I want to accomplish. So coming back over here, we're going to look at the dividends we received in the Roth IRA. And I should say that this covers October. So it's a November update, but it covers up to the end of October. So October's dividends received was $35.06 in total. That brings us to a year-to-date total up to the end of October, $346.25, and a monthly average of $34.63. So this month we got paid right around the monthly average, $35. Nothing crazy. And in all time in my life of having this Roth IRA, I've received $672.12 in dividends. I just thought someone would want to know that. Looking at the graphs, we have our trends going here. We're in 2025 and we're about to draw the last bar. Actually, November doesn't get any dividends. I don't have any payers in November, so we're not going to be seeing anything here. And then December is going to be the last stroke for the year, so I'm going to have to add a 2026 up here. Fun stuff. Monthly dividends, everything just stretched out. We kind of see the trends in a sense with the light greens and then with the dark greens, and then there was some weird thing with SCHD paying in the wrong month here and so forth, and yeah. Then 2025, you can see we have surpassed 2024's total payments. We're at 347, I think. I keep forgetting the number there. 346.25. So there you go. Going well. Thank you guys so much for watching. That brings us to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one, which probably will be my update on my spending plan. So I gotta spend some time making that video. Until that one, peace.